Objections? Oh, look at what she's wearing. Can you zoom in? Can you zoom in, cameraman? On those beautiful, oh my goodness, let's see. Man, it is like amazing. Is your neck? I mean, it's like, wow. And, it's like about 10 pounds of length. Oh, you might be. It's this way.
This is almost up.
Cheers, okay, well, Sharon, you know, last year, we've known each other for a long time and just an amazing seller. Last year, you had 8 people on your personal team, right? And now you have over 70. And, yeah, over 70. And you have developed, not only are you recruiting these people, but you're developing them into directors. You have 3 new directors, and you promoted to executive director. I mean, you're just rocking and rolling. So, I mean, you've really gone from just, I mean, really that passionate seller to a passionate seller and recruiter. So, you know, you have mentioned to me, actually, that people buy in spite of you. They book and sign on because of you. Can you talk a little bit about that? Explain it.
That is so true. People say to me in almost every single show, I have never met anyone that loves their job more than you, and I've never wanted to have a home party, but after listening to you, I think I'm going to have one, and I think I might even want to try and sell this. So it's really your excitement and your passion, like Brandis was saying.
Well, that is great. Well, I have to say, we heard that you really get this excited by you.
There was a moment I was like,
We can have our moment, right?
Tony was thinking about what she said.
So, I know everyone in the audience wants to hear a little bit more about the ticket activity and how you use that in your shows. So how do you think that makes a difference in how you play the ticket game?
You know, it's funny, I always say to people, actually people always say to me, Sharon, I play the ticket game, but it's not working. And again, you can just list the benefits of the company and tell them how great it is, but if you're not speaking from your heart, it's completely different. Because that's how I used to play the ticket game many years ago, and I obviously never had the same results. Because I was kind of rushing through it, and I wasn't speaking from the same place as I am now. And that makes a big difference. And that's what I say to people. You have to speak from your heart. Because you can sell people a bar pan, but to sell them the business, you really have to be coming from a different place.
Okay, so I'm dying to see this like happen, you know, the ticket activity. So Tony and I are going to be guests.
Okay.
And show.
We're going to show them.
Okay, great, fabulous. Let's give this a go.
You're going to love my apron. It's right up your alley.
Oh, I love it. It's like, and you just match.
It's a Jim Jones.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
It's the New York apron.
Oh, I should have bedazzled my jacket. I love it.
Okay, so what I do...
I love it. Okay. Wow. I'm not going to be able to focus. Did you just lull people into signing up with that? Wow, okay. Here we go.
Okay, so what I do is, as I serve the first recipe, and the second one is in the oven baking, I gather everybody. So everyone's in and everyone's eating, and they're a captive audience because they can't talk because they're chewing. I take out my door prize slips, and I still use these, and they come in everybody's starter kit. I mean, if you use the booking slide, that's great. This is what works for me. I pull it out, and I say to everybody, I'm going to hand out a door prize slip. I want you to take a second to fill it out. We're going to pick for a fabulous prize. And I don't care if it's a season's best. They don't have to know that. We're going to pull for a fabulous prize. The first question says, are you interested in hosting a cooking show? If you have a show of your own, I can almost guarantee you'll get anywhere from $100 to $300 in free products of your choice. If you love everything you see here tonight and you can't buy everything, you have to be crazy not to have your own show. I come, I cook, I clean up, you will reap all the benefits. My average hostess gets free products, half-price items, discounted items, and a monthly host special. I promise you, you'll need an extension added onto your kitchen by the time I get done with you. And the second question says, I'm actually now doing theme parties, just so you know. We can do a Death by Chocolate theme party, we can do a Mexican party with mojitos, margaritas, whatever you want, we'll make it happen. The second question says, are you interested in earning opportunities with the Pampered Chef? I take out my roll of tickets and I say to them, if you ask me a question about the business opportunity, I'm going to give you a ticket, you're going to write your name on the back, and we're going to pick for a second prize. So who's going to start? I don't want you to be shy. Ask me any question.
I'm going to start, okay?
There you go.
I got to ask, how much money do you make?
That's a great question, Tony. For the show that you just saw, and it was about 40 minutes, I make around $200. This is the only job that I know that you can make $200 in 40 minutes. Who else has a question?
Okay, Sharon, so how many nights per week do you really do this?
That's a great question. When I got started, they said to me, if you do 2 shows a week, you'll earn every incentive that this company offers. And I had 2 little kids at home. I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, but I also wanted to make some extra money. So I would leave my house at 6:30, 2 nights a week. I'd come home by 10, and I made some great money. But now my kids are old and grown and gone, and I don't want to live with my husband that many nights a week. So I do this 3 or 4 nights a week. But the nice thing about this is,
I don't know why you're all laughing.
But the nice thing about this job is you can do it as little or as much as you want. You want to do it 2 nights a week, that's great. You want to do it 5 nights a week, that's great. Maybe you want to do it once a week. Do you want to do it every Tuesday, every Thursday? Maybe Sunday works for you. It's the only job that I know that works around your schedule. Who else has a question?
Well, I have to say, since it seems everyone here wants to get away from their spouse or significant other, this one's going to be an easy one, but is it hard to get bookings?
Great question. Is it hard to get bookings? I will tell you that when I first started, my director said to me, you got to ask 8 of your friends. You're going to do 2 shows a week, ask 8 friends, and they're going to help you get started. Honestly, I thought after my 8 friends, that was going to be it for me. My very
and what's it
first...
for me?
So cute.
Just being honest.
My very best friend, Marcy, who's still my best friend, did my very first show. And I'll never forget, I came home after that first show and I woke up my husband. I was like, Scott, I got 2 bookings. I guess I'm doing this another month. And that was almost 16 years ago. The way the world is today, it's never been easier for us to get bookings. We offer not a luxury, we offer a necessity. Every home has a kitchen. Everyone has to feed their family something. Whether you microwave it, barbecue it, or cook it, they have to eat something. If you're in a business where you're selling pocketbooks or home interiors, those are luxury items. It's hard to justify spending $100 on pocketbooks the way the world is today. But if you're going to buy the magic pot, you're going to cook for your family, it's a lot easier to justify that. You know, it's funny. People say to me all the time, Sharon, I lost my job when my husband got laid off. I have to learn how to cook. And cooking has never been more in style. The Food Network has never been more popular than it is now. Soap operas have gone off the air and they're replaced by more shows that cook. Cooking is very in style. I mean, I'll show you my book. I am booked solid because we don't sell a luxury, we sell a necessity. So it's never been better for us in the way the world is today.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Well, you know, this is all well and good, Sharon, but I have to believe that some of you have played the ticket activity, and then you look at the guests and they're all like you know, in school, when it's
Right,
like,
deer in headlight. Nobody's making any eye contact with you. And I will say, nobody else has a question, and I don't end this until I'm done getting every point across. And one of my favorites is recognition, because I will tell you that it took me a long time to figure out that a lot of people don't ever get recognized and patted on the back for doing anything. So one of my favorite things is, what about recognition? That's a great question. Let me tell you what this company does for you.
how many do you
You got a
have?
lot. You got a lot. Not one. This is so cute. Okay, that's all.
We got one for being cute.
I am in my friend.
Wow.
Winning that prize.
Okay, let's talk about recognition. I've been married for 27 years. When I clean my bathroom, nobody cares, nobody notices. No one has ever said thank you. This company, just for doing your job, doesn't know what to do for you. We have the opportunity to earn amazing vacations. If I tell you in this past year, every single month the FedEx man is knocking on my door, my neighbors are like, what'd you get now? I have earned hundreds of dollars in gas cards. I have earned $50 gift cards to over 500 retailers. I've earned an iPad 3, luggage, jewelry. Before I sold Pampered Chef, I worked for the largest law firm in the country. Every year, they gave us a fruitcake. We'd all walk out of the building and we'd toss the fruitcake in the garbage. This company doesn't know what to do for you. It is honestly the greatest job in the world. Who else has a question?
Okay. So you did a great job answering our questions. What I'd like to know now, though, is you get people excited about the opportunity. You've got a lot of folks thinking about that opportunity. What happens next?
The magic is the full-service checkout, because now everybody's kind of like drooling, you know, they're loving everything I said, but how are we going to get them to sign up? So that's the magic.
Well, should we go into a role play? Yeah. Would you like to see Sharon do this? Oh, I love it! Okay, so I'm going to be checking out.
Okay. Hi, Jean.
Well, hi, Sharon.
And I have to tell you, before I go into role play, before I worked with Jillian, I was inspired. I was always the most interested in how much they were spending. So when they came up, the first thing I looked at was what was on their order form. And if they were spending $100, this was going to be a great show. But that's not my concern anymore. It's not about the sale. That's going to happen no matter what. It's about sharing the business. So when Jean comes up and I say, hi, Jean, did you have a good time?
Oh my goodness, I really had fun. Yeah.
What inspired you about the business?
Well, it just looked like you were having a lot of fun.
And I am. And let me ask you, is this something that you could see yourself doing?
I think I might consider it.
Really? I would love to have you on my team.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that that actually came out of my mouth.
So,
where'd that come from?
You were so personable, and you were the person that everybody was going up to. You were loving the products. I saw it in your eye from the moment I met you that you would be so great at this. This is what I'm going to say to you. I would love to come to your home, just like you saw me here tonight. I would love to do a grand opening show for your friends and family. I would do the show, you would get the commission, you'd also be the hostess, so you get all the free products. And when I announce that you're going to be selling this, everyone's going to be like, gee, I'm part of you, because that's what our friends do, they help us. Does that sound like something you would be able to do?
Possibly. I mean, if you really, because I've done this before, and I've heard the whole, like, yeah, I'm going to help you kind of routine.
Okay.
And, yeah, that never, like, happens.
I will tell you that I don't know what kind of experience you've had before, but I promise you, I am with you every step of the way. I always say you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. I am with you every step of the way. So why don't we pick a day for a grand opening, and I open up my book, and we pick a day, and I say to her, you know what, I see you're going to spend over $100 tonight. I would rather you get a couple of things to support your friends. I get that, and that's really great. But I would really like you to pick out one of the kits. And we offer 2 kits, like I spoke about earlier. And I don't make any commission on the kits, but I'm going to be honest with you. The $159 kit, you get $580 worth of merchandise. If you say to me, Sharon, I just can't do that, I'm okay with that. You'll get the $80 kit. But let's pick one of them tonight. We'll take a lot of these things off your list because I notice a lot of them come in the starter kit anyway. And then we'll get you sorted. Okay. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, that sounds fabulous.
Great. So that's what we'll do. And I get them on my calendar. We pick a grand opening date, and we sign that night. Before my inspiration from Jillian, I honestly never signed anyone at a show. And then, honestly, now there's probably not a show that I don't sign one person, if not 2 or 3. So I do it
Isn't
right.
that amazing? Woo!
So she does the
And
grand
if we
opening, but
really
keeps the
did
sales
play
or
it
not?
that way,
No.
because we wanted to kind of show you how she does it, and the fact that she does it at the show. Because obviously you're getting the no's, you're getting the people that say absolutely not. I mean, we could have role-played that.
Good.
But she really does sign up people right there on the show, at the time of the show, which I think is really fabulous. So, very exciting. And just so effective, and you do a great job, and anybody can do that.
Absolutely. It's totally duplicatable. It's just saying the words and having the passion and the love in your voice. That's really it.
I mean, you have just been doing this for how long again? You went to Jillian's show, what was that, about a year and a half ago?
April of 2011.
Yeah. So, I mean, just the complete shift, so.
Okay, well, Jean is probably not what we would consider our toughest guest, right?
Yeah.
Right? We've had some tough ones, right?
Well, Brandis, yeah.
Absolutely. She's been to all these shows. Well, We know here on the dish that it's a little more difficult to get a yes sometimes. So we like to make it fun and play games with our guests. So at breakfast, we pulled from some consultants from the audience, and we asked them for some recruiting objections that they hear that stump them the most often. So what we want to do is, knowing that you're a top recruiter, you've probably heard every objection in the book.
Every objection under the book.
Well, we here at the dish want to see if we can stump the guest. Who wants to play Stump the Guest?
I sure do.
All right, so we'll give you some of our toughest recruiting objections and see if you can respond or if we can stump you.
Got it.
Okay.
All right.
We have the little ball. Let's,
First question to Jean.
all right. Okay, here we go. Now is not the right time, but maybe in a few months, Sharon.
Okay, that's fine. Can I ask why? What's going on right now that it's not the right time?
Oh my goodness, I'm just getting my kids prepared for school, and one's going to
Filming
be
a show.
A celebrity?
Fairly busy with that.
Just started, we're on 4th edition, we're trying to get syndicated.
I understand that totally.
Yeah.
So would it be okay if I sent you home with some information, and I will stay in contact with you? Every month we offer a recruiting incentive, and I will call you next month. I'll let you know what's going on, and things do change all the time. And actually, now is the best time to sign on. This is our busiest season ever, and we're coming into our holiday fall selling season. And if you'd like to have a debt-free holiday and make a couple of $1,000s by Christmas or Hanukkah, this is something I'd love to help you get
A
started.
couple $1,000.
Absolutely. You do a couple of shows a week, and you're absolutely going to have a debt-free holiday.
Wow.
So I will call you. I'm going to send you home with some information. Would it be okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
And I will follow up with you. It doesn't work for you right now, but things are always changing. I'll call you in a couple of weeks. Good.
Thanks.
All right, Jean,
All
you
right.
do call this segment Stump the Guest, and that wasn't so good. All right, give me the ball here. We're going to find a good one. This one's folded like 8 times. This has got to be good.
Scared.
Okay. I've tried direct sales before and wasn't successful.
Tony, would you mind me asking, what did you sell in the past?
I've sold it all. I've sold jewelry, I've sold makeup, I've sold bags, vitamins. Right now I'm selling energy. I'm doing all kinds of stuff. I'm doing it all, and I can't make it happen.
You know what? Not that I want to say anything negative about any of those direct sell companies, but those are luxury items. The pocketbooks, the jewelry, those are great sellers around the holidays or if it's somebody's birthday. But again, it's so hard to justify, especially the way the world is today, for someone to spend $100 or to ask their friends to come out to a party. But we've never done better because we're not selling a luxury, we're selling a necessity. So I promise you the experience that you'll have with the Pampered Chef is so different than anyone that you've had in the past. And you can look at my book. I am book solid. And that's what will happen for you if you give us a try. And I will be with you every step of the way to help you be successful.
Well, wow, you are good.
Yeah.
You are good.
You were right there.
Good.
You were
All right, we got one more shot.
Okay. You
Dig
were right.
deep.
If we would have had a pen right up here, we would have said.
Absolutely.
Okay, listen. Oh, this is a good one.
Last chance, Jean.
And this is fabulous, because I've got, my day job, and now we've got this show. I already have 2 jobs, and I'm really way too busy for this.
Which I get all the time. Would you mind me asking, Jean, what do you do?
Oh, I work at Tar. I was going to say, well, I had a sales department at the Pampered Chef. Fabulous company. Boy, I think you'd be great at this.
It's a secret society.
Man, I almost went into recruiting. I can't stop myself. Well, I work at Target, and then I actually work at Dunkin' Donuts. I leave maybe that's me.
I told you sir, those shoes.
What if I told you that you would be able to give up both of those jobs and make more money selling Pampered Chef?
Oh my gosh, I would love that, because those I am like just eating way too many these days.
I don't want to get personal and ask you how much you're making, but I promise you that if you try this, that I can almost guarantee that you will make more money in doing this than doing the 2 jobs that you do now. And I'm sure you're working a lot of hours and a lot of days a week. And by doing 2 shows a week selling Pampered Chef, you'll be able to get rid of those 2 jobs. Does that sound like something that you might want to do?
It sounds awesome. I don't believe you, but I live in Long Island. I don't believe you.
Would it be okay if I give you an information packet, and I would love to call you tomorrow and tell me what time works for you, whether it's afternoon or evening, and you and I can spend some time together. And I promise you that if you give me some time and I explain to you what this is about, you will be able to give up both of those shows. Does that sound like something maybe?
That would be just awesome.
I would love to have you on my team. Oh, you're adorable. I would love to have you on my team.
Thank you. That was nice. I want to sign now. She made me feel, she didn't say you were adorable, but she said you were cute. So. Well, you know what? This has been absolutely wonderful.
But I want to show you
I
the killer close. Pardon? The killer close on the ticket game.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't do that.
Oh, killer close.
That was the one last thing I
Okay,
apologize.
okay,
So the last thing that I say after all the questions have been asked is, I always say I want to leave you with one last thing. And I really believe in my heart that this is what separates getting them to sign and not getting them to sign, because this is so powerful. I always say I want to leave you with one last thing. If your children came to you and they said, Mom, I want to try soccer, I want to try baseball, I want to try dance, you would never say to your children, don't bother, you're going to be horrible. What we say to our kids is, honey, try it. If you don't like it, you never have to do it again. But women don't say that. They say, Sharon, I can never do what you do. Or you go home and your mother or your husband or your best friend says, what, you think something for Jeff? What is that? I want you to give yourself the same advice that you would give your children. I want you to try this for 1 month. I want you to do a few cooking shows, and at the end of 30 days, if you don't love this, the worst thing that's going to happen to you is you're going to have a pocket full of money from the shows that you did, and more products than you can ever imagine. But the best thing that could happen to you is you can find out, like I did, that this is the greatest job in the world. If you give me 30 days, I promise you, I can change your life.
Wow.
That's simple.
And as Brandon said, we get to keep the ring.
Yes. Well, Sharon, I just want to thank you so much for being a guest on The Dish. I also want to just congratulate you again for your incredible accomplishment. Thank you, Jillian, for inspiring Sharon.